depends on the type of charger, but some of them a half hour, longer than that. We're live? All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. At this time, we will call to order the regular meeting of the Suffern Central Board of Education. Today is Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. Let the record reflect all board members are present, with the exception of Mrs. Jen Hodge. We have no executive agenda tonight, so at this time, please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now, 1.07 is the public hearing on the district-wide safety plan for 2023-24. The safety plan is posted publicly to board docs. This is an opportunity, and it's the opening of a 30-day window for public comment on the safety plan. I don't know if anybody here has any particular comments. If you do, you're more than welcome to step to the podium. Oh, okay. 1.08 is the minutes of the reorganization meeting of July 5th, 2023. Do I have a motion? Mr. Shapiro, second. Mr. Frazier. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? Any abstentions? Dr. Nick Palm abstains. 1.09 is the minutes of the regular meeting of July 5th, 2023. Do we have a motion? Mr. Donnelly. Second. Ms. Dickman. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 All those against? Any abstentions? Dr. Nick Palm abstains. .10 minutes of the special meeting of July 17th, 2023. Do I have a motion? Ms. Dickman. Second. Mr. Shapiro. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? Any abstentions? Dr. Nick Palm abstains. 1.11 superintendent comments. Oh, you got your own mic.
I have my own mic, yes. Happy summer, everyone. Nice to see all of...
I've been leaning over like this the whole meeting.
Now you can straighten up. Just because it's summer, this doesn't mean we're not serious about business here. Yeah. I'd like to thank all of you who are here in person this evening for the Board of Education meeting. Happy midsummer. We're almost basically at the halfway point for summer break. I hope those of you that are tuning in or will see this meeting as a recording or enjoying your summers, and you're having some chances to relax, enjoy family and friends, and what turns out right now to be beautiful weather. I want to take a moment to thank a number of different groups and individuals within the district who are really working hard throughout the summer to get school ready for the upcoming school year. Our business department and buildings and grounds department is doing an absolutely fantastic job making sure that school is open on time, of course, that our hallways are looking beautiful, our classrooms are getting appropriate refreshes. Some of you that have visited each of the individual schools will see some new things taking place at each of the schools. And of course, for all the board members and those in attendance here this evening, you will see that you won't see the asbestos abatement that we just had, but you'll see what's taking place after that. And that is a more modern looking floor, some improvements to some office spaces here at Hilburn, really making this a better work environment for central office. I'm really looking forward to getting into the schools this upcoming week, now in the midpoint of the summer, to see the progress that's been taking place. But the classroom where the cybersecurity program is going to be taking place is really coming together and looking nice. And a whole variety of classrooms are getting some new furniture and nice paint jobs and are looking nice and bright for our students. Our human resources department is doing last minute hires. We are again in the midpoint in the summer. There are always a couple of loose ends here and there that need to be tightened up, and they're taking care of that. Curriculum work is taking place along with professional development over the summer for our new course offerings, new standards that are in place. And of course, our PPS office has been engaged with a lot of training and meetings with parents throughout the summer. And I believe at our last meeting, I talked about the very well attended dyslexia ISME training that took place. And I really want to thank the department for taking the lead on that, and something that proved to be very successful for the teachers that were involved. This evening, I would like to recognize and thank the Suffern Alumni Association for their partnership particularly over the last few months, where we've been talking about ways that the Alumni Association and the school district can really come together, work together with one another for the betterment of our students. And although we will have, I'm sure, additional announcements as to how well we've worked together, this evening I want to pay particular attention to one aspect of our partnership, and that's where the students in Suffern Central are going to reap tremendous benefits. So I have here this evening the president of the Alumni Association, Tom McTaggart, an alumnus of Suffern High School, of course, and president of the Alumni Association, here to share this wonderful announcement this evening. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you all. Back earlier in the year, our mission as the Alumni Association of Suffern High School has always been to expand educational and social opportunities for graduates of Suffern High School. And we, over the years, and raising money for scholarships and everything, and creation of a foundation, we've accumulated a little bit of a nest egg. And we thought, why is that sitting there when it can be put to good use? So we reached out a little bit to find out what possibly we could redirect our mission a little bit to incorporate the entire district, not just, reunions and all those wonderful things that go along with it, and giving away the scholarships as we do every year. And the first thing we did was we talked to Dr. Gunnarsson about his effort there back in before right around the budget vote, where they were introducing all the elementary students to the opportunities they'll get as they move up through the years. The extracurricular opportunity was a wonderful thing, and I'm sure a lot of you were there. It was a fabulous presentation. And then we said, let's do a little more. And one of the things Dr. Gunnarsson, Andy Guccione, and Dan McCarter, the music chair, came in and they gave us some ideas. And we were already doing something with the athletic front with the help of one of our alumnus, Jim Hoffman. And we said, okay, let's listen to what Dan McCarter has to offer. And Dan McCarter suggested for the elementary schools the purchase of instruments. They've tripled in cost over the last 10 years, especially certain ones that have always been appreciable on the thing. He said we can invest in this and we can repair them year by year. And we also talked over a plan to have our alumnus people want to get rid of their old instruments where they can be refurbished and recirculated and this whole thing. One of the things we historically have had a fabulous music program in this school district. From the days I was a young kid growing up all the way through. It's been marvelous. And it's a great opportunity. The educational researchers out there, when kids are involved with music, it translates into so many other things, just like with sports. It increases your language capacity, all kinds of wonderful things as a result of it. So we said, okay, we want to provide the opportunity for more elementary school kids to get involved, especially if they can't afford the instrument. This is something that will be there, it'll be available, it'll be repaired on an ongoing basis. And we looked at what we had and we developed a grant of $25,000 to put forward based on what Dan McCarter proposed. And we're really happy to do this.
So, Mr. McTaggart, I want to thank you very much for helping lead the Alumni Association and being so receptive to this need that our students have, and recognizing that this donation can really help provide students with an opportunity that otherwise they might not have. And certainly the district has a budget for purchasing instruments, but this amount of the size of this grant is sizable.
It adds value.
It adds tremendous value.
That's what we were looking at, to add value to the community. And that's one of our missions. And it's going to be fruitful. And plus, I want people to know who we are so we can increase our membership. For $25 a year or $25, you can be a life member. And it's going to recirculate and add more value just by having more membership.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So we want to thank you so much. I'd like to take this opportunity, if you don't mind, for the board and you to come together in the front here for a quick photo. But I know that other members of the Alumni Association and members of our music department and perhaps a few kids could really come together as we begin the school year to have a more symbolic donation ceremony where we can really drum up a lot of publicity for how important the music program is and how vital the Alumni Association is to the Suffern Central School District and how much we appreciate this grant. So thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely in the middle. You in the middle.
All right. Yes, I recognize a longtime history teacher, Tom. You were, for how many years? 35 years as a history teacher at Suffern High School. Fantastic. So, alumnus, teacher, and now president of the Alumni Association. Again, we very much appreciate it. This evening, we have a presentation from Rockland BOCES. As we are all very familiar with the Suffern Central School District's representative to the board of the Rockland BOCES, Sandy Jeanette. Unfortunately, Sandy, although she had hoped to have been here to help present, she is not feeling well this evening and notified me that she would not be able to be here. She sends her regrets. And we all know Sandy. We will see her in the not too distant future. And if we don't see her, we will certainly hear from her as she communicates with us about what's taking place at Rockland BOCES. The individual who is going to be co-presenting with Sandy Jeanette is the new superintendent for Rockland BOCES, Mr. Christopher D'Ambrisi. So I'd like to welcome Christopher up to the podium where he is going to provide us with some highlights of some of the things that Rockland BOCES is up to. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Gunderson. And I want to thank Heather, and I want to thank Sandy, and I want to thank the entire board for this opportunity. And Lisa, I promise you I'll be real brief. Okay, I know we want to get out of here. So just a little bit about myself. I was appointed as the district superintendent for Rockland BOCES back March 1st of this year. So I'm fairly new into the job. My prior position was also within Rockland BOCES. I was the executive director of adult education for 8 years. So I've been at Rockland BOCES now for a little bit more than 8 years. and it's been so far a great ride. In my current position as district superintendent, I represent the component school districts, all 8 of them, up at SED in Albany. So I'm up there once a month gathering information, all the newest, latest stuff, bringing it back down to the county and rolling it out to the component school districts at our school execs meeting once a month and throughout the year, both formally and informally. Eric, I'm sure you saw my email today. I don't know if you checked it. So yeah, that was interesting. So
was that a test?
You're back from vacation like I am, so I'm adjusting. But I just wanted to take a minute just to talk about maybe an area that I don't think gets discussed enough. We tend to focus, and rightfully so, on K-12, the kids, the youth. That's where our emphasis should be. But there's also a piece that we need to discuss a little bit, and that's a transitional piece. You know, what are students doing after high school? In particular, those who don't have a traditional pathway into post-secondary education, whether that's a 2 or a 4-year school, a SUNY or a larger university. So Rockland BOCES has a very, very extensive and large adult education program. This particular division of BOCES is the highest in terms of students served, in terms of volume, probably 4,000 to 5,000 students a year. We're located throughout the county, Monday through Saturday, from 8 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. Nyack, West Nyack, Spring Valley. We used to be up in Haverstraw. We'll get up there again soon. That stopped during COVID, but I'm looking to get up there. I'm in discussions with Chris Filicello, the superintendent up there, to get back up there. Now, when you think of adult education, right, it's, you know, your mind may go to the sewing class after school at so-and-so middle school. It is that, but it's a lot more layered than that. It's very complex, and it's very it's very needed. It's a necessity in this county. This particular division serves predominantly 21 and over, and sometimes 18 years of age and older. Our largest portion of adult education is the ESL GED program. That serves about 2,000 to 3,000 students of the year. Your packets that are in front of you, I don't have a PowerPoint, but your packets that are in front of you, we can just slide through them, and I'll give you a quick little overview of what we're about. So the first page is our literacy program. That's 21 years and older. That's our GED ESL program. That, like I said, it's about 2,000 to 3,000 students. And what happens, we get many of the high school students who start to age out of high school when they hit 21, when they're in high school, many of them transition into this program. Okay, it's a full continuum, levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pre-GED and GED. It's a full continuum. And for some of these adult learners, it takes them years, but it's not a race, it's a marathon. We've had some students that have been in there for 4 or 5 years, and then we have others that get in and get out within a couple of months. But that's located in Burke, over in the Nyack building, Spring Valley High School, and the Church of the Nazarene. Morning programs and evening programs. I try to run some afternoon programs, but that seems to be a tough time because of their work schedules and their lives. So there's that piece. So I have a couple different copies you can flip through, Creole and Spanish. So you can just flip through to this particular page, okay, with the blue on the right side. That's the other side of the house, okay? That's the career training side of the house. So many of the adult learners that come in, they want to learn a trade, okay? The priority sectors of this county remain hospitality, healthcare, IT, and advanced manufacturing, which is basically some of the trades. Healthcare being the largest. We have a very extensive career training program. All of these programs that you see on the right side of this page, they lead to an internship, and it leads to employment. We have counselors that work directly with these clients and students to transition them into employment upon completion of the course. The average length of these courses, anywhere from 4 to 10 months. And they're very cost effective, anywhere between $2,000 and $6,000. So again, if not an alternative to college, a transition into college. for some, because we work directly with, we do a lot of work with Rockland Community College too. We try not to compete, but we naturally compete in some ways because they also have an adult education program as well. But with the new president coming in, I'm looking to develop some collaboration with the new president who's coming to see me soon. So you can see the courses that are offered, a lot of medical, a lot of trades, cyber technology, so on and so forth. And there's a lot of them. And like I said, internships and job placement are part of this. So it's not a bad deal. At the end of the day, for $4,000 or $5,000, and with the way the workforce is now and the economy, the landscape is changing. Not everybody has a direct linear path, okay, into college. There needs to be some alternative pathways, and this is kind of where we come in. So if you just flip the page. So in between the literacy program and the career training program, we have programs within, because the ultimate goal is to provide a continuum for these students. So if they come in as a level 1 ESL student, they move along the ESL continuum, they move into GED, they get their GED, GED test, they always flip-flop. We're back to the GED now, which makes life a lot easier. So they earn their GED. It can't stop there. So then we look to move them into a career training program, a trade or a healthcare training. We get them a nationally recognized certificate, we get them an internship, and we get them a job. Okay, one-stop shopping. But in between that, they need some supplemental services. So if you see the next page, it says Bridge to Careers. This is specifically a workforce literacy program designed to transition students from their GED into their vocational pathway, into their career training program. Not every student upon graduating their GED is ready to go into a career training program. They need a little extra support, and that's where this comes in. Bridge to Careers. If you flip the page, this is our literacy zone. The state recognizes target areas within each county. So for instance, in this county, it would be Spring Valley and Haverstraw. Okay, literacy zones are specifically designed, and it's funded through SCD, specifically designed to target the adult population within, in this particular case, Spring Valley, to help them navigate not only basic literacy skills, but also financial literacy, health literacy, social services. So this is an actual physical place, this literacy zone. Is called the Family Welcome Center. It's located at the Church of the Nazarene in Spring Valley. So the students that are there looking to learn the English language can also bring their families and their relatives to this particular site, and we can help them navigate the services that are within Spring Valley. It's an important service because many of the clients that come in need those services consolidated. Okay, it's a very difficult process to navigate. So that's what the literacy zone is. If you flip the page to Youth Connections. Youth Connections is funded by the Department of Labor. Okay, this is an out-of-school youth program for those who graduate high school. Okay, that's considered out-of-school youth, or dropouts. Okay, this is specifically designed for 18 to 24-year-olds who are looking to move in particular directions. Most of them in a GED career training direction. So this is an out-of-school youth program where they can develop an internship experience and get paid for it, and then we can move them into a job. So that's one component. But I'm going to end with this one, and this is the one you might have heard of. You know how each county has a one-stop. Orange County has a one-stop. Dutchess County has a one-stop. Ulster County has a one-stop. Westchester County has a one-stop. Well, Rockland County has a one-stop too. We call it Rockland Works. It used to be located in Spring Valley on Perlman. It used to be called Tomorrow's Workplace a few years ago. I know you might remember that. Then RCC took it over. Okay, they did it for 5 years, and now we took it over, Rockland BOCES, over at the NIAC building. This is the employment and training hub of the county, funded by the Department of Labor. So clients that are underemployed or unemployed come into Rockland Works, the local career center, the one-stop, okay, and we give them the employment and training services that they need to get back on their feet, okay, and we We onboarded this particular program during the pandemic when the economic and workforce development landscape was all out of whack. It was an opportune time for us to come in and help the clients navigate the employment landscape. Many of them were out of work. Many of them were underemployed. Many of them were not making a lot of money. Many of them got laid off during the pandemic, as we all know. So they came to us and we helped them get back on their feet. And it continues to be a very, very successful program. We offer job training services. We offer career training services, employment services. We get them internships. We help them get, it depends on what they need. We tailor according to what they need. So you got some people that come in, clients that come in, they need direct employment. They got to get back on their feet. We work with hundreds of employers. Okay, and we put them based on their aptitude and their skill set, we put them into direct employment. Others need additional training. So if you lost your job as a welder and you have an aptitude or interest in, say, IT, we can get you into a fully funded IT program, whether it's through BOCES or whether it's through RCC or whether it's through Lincoln Tech or another training provider, whatever, in this county or even outside of this county, depending on where they live, depending on what the costs are. We can get them into an IT program, for example, okay, and we can fully fund that training program, get them into an internship, and then get them into a job. So it's specifically designed for the underemployed or the unemployed, and we tailor it according to the needs of the clients. We serve thousands and thousands of clients a year in this particular program, and this is Rockland Works. It's back out to bid soon, so we're gonna the RFP comes out in the fall, and we're gonna write for it. And hopefully we'll get it because we've had it for 3 years. And you know how it goes. You don't build momentum until 2-3 years into the program. So again, in addition to Rockland Works, to supplement the employment and training services, we have the Department of Labor co-located right in the same building as this particular staff in Rockland Works. So we work directly with the Department of Labor, and we get all the labor market information, the statistics, and all the data. What jobs are hot, what jobs are not. Is hospitality still hot? Did that go away? Where's healthcare? And we use all that data to get people into employment. So you can only imagine, I have Crystal Run calling me. I have Montefiore. I have the local unions. They're all looking for, everybody's looking for help. So it's a natural partnership, Rockland Works and the employers. So that's pretty much it. And hopefully I was succinct and accurate. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I can go on and on, but I'm not going to do it. That's pretty much the down and dirty there.
So Chris, I want to thank you so much for coming here and sharing with us one aspect of Rockland BOCES that is incredibly important to all residents within Rockland County. And being a former superintendent from New Jersey, the level of support that I see that comes from Rockland BOCES is unparalleled. It really is tremendous, and I'm typically focused on that pre-K through 12 level of education. But as I've come to learn more and more about Rockland BOCES, and of course your presentation here tonight just reminds us all that you truly serve all residents of Rockland. So thank you for sharing this unique perspective.
Learning doesn't stop
BOCES.
at 18. It's continuous and it's lifelong. So this is just a reminder of that. So Dr. Gunnarsson, thank you very much.
So I'd like to ask you just to make sure that you'd be okay with us taking this presentation, these slides, so that members of the public here and who are watching this board meeting can get access to it, because they may know someone who would benefit from these programs. So if you're okay with me putting this up online, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
And you should all be receiving the catalog in the mail soon if you haven't gotten it already. So Rockland Adult and Community Education, the catalog for the fall winter should be hitting your mailboxes, if not already.
Fantastic. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right.
I may be a bit premature here. I don't know if you wanted to open it up for questions from the board members, if anybody had a question for Mr. D'Ambrisi. But besides that, I will conclude my superintendent's comments.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would open it up if anybody does have any questions. I mean, that was a pretty in-depth and really informative presentation. So thank you very much. Are there any specific questions? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. 1.12, public participation. This is public participation on action items only. We'll get there. We'll get there. If there are any comments on our action items for tonight, please feel free to approach the podium. Seeing as there are none, we will move to our action items. So tonight we have action items 2.01 through 2.23. I would call for a consent agenda. Are there any items anyone wishes to pull from a consent agenda tonight? No. Okay. So action items 2.01 through 2.23. Do I have a motion? Mr. Frazier? Is there a second? Is that Dr. Nickpon? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? Any abstentions? Thank you all very much. 6.01, board member comments. Are there any board member comments at this time? Ms. Dickman?
So I just want to thank again the Suffern High School Alumni Association for this very, very generous gift. The music and the theater arts departments at Suffern schools are so fantastic, and to have more students who can participate and participate at a higher level is going to be such a tremendous benefit to the school. So thank you so much for directing your funds to that very, very valuable purpose. I also want to thank our educators who took time out of their summers to participate in the IMSC Orton Gillingham program and the Spanish Immersion program. From the IMSC, I received feedback that the program was very valuable and worthwhile. And our educators work so hard during the year. We really appreciate that the time that they take during their summers to do more professional development, which is going to benefit their students in a very direct way. Also, the long-awaited transportation audit is completed, and that means that the board's transportation committee can set up a time to meet and work more on transportation, which is a very large part of our budget as well as a large part of our time. When it's going well, nobody really thinks about it. When it's going not well, everyone is talking about it. So this will be a really, hopefully, good opportunity to improve whatever efficiencies we can and serve all members of our district, both the public and the non-public community, in a better way. That's our goal, at least, and we're going to work really hard on it. So thank you. Oh, wait, one more thing. With regard to the district-wide safety plan, it is available in board docs, but it's also available on the Suffern Central School District homepage on the website. If you just go to the homepage, it pops up right there, and there's a link to take you right to the safety plan if you want to read it. Okay, now I'm done. Okay.
Thank you very much. Any other comments? All right. 7.01, public participation. This is public participation on any district-related business.
There we go. Hi. Hello, administrators and Board of Education. I'm here just for a couple of minutes of your time. Oh, I think I'm only allotted 3. It'll be less than that. Some of you may or may not know, you know about so many of these sports activities.
We all know you. We all know
I'm so
you.
sorry.
But if people are watching don't know you.
Most of them know me. Hey. My name is Isabella Burkett Green. I have 2 children in the district, a middle schooler and a high schooler. Okay, let me start again. We all discuss how amazing Suffern Central is with all of the extracurricular activities, and they are incredible. And the reason I'm before you today is one particular sport. I wanted to come up and talk about the cross-country teams, boys specifically. Usually, historically, they start training in July. And some of you may or may not know, there was a bit of a hiccup in what usually happens with boys cross-country. And they were not they were scheduled to start training in the beginning of July, and that hiccup stopped their momentum. And the only reason why I'm up here talking about it is because that hiccup has been rectified. But I wanted to let you guys know that this boys cross country team got together on their own volition and trained on their own because they understood how important it was. And even though in that moment they were confused and didn't feel supported, they figured out a way to support themselves. And all of the parents who were discussing this and trying to help them sort of navigate this without telling them exactly what to do because they are figuring it out on their own, were incredibly impressed with how they used the foundation that they had learned from the past to establish how they were going to move forward. And they did that. And I'm incredibly proud of my going into high school child who was part of this group and how they met and supported each other and talked about how the team was going to do moving forward. So as I've said, that hiccup, we're past that. They are training, they are working together. And I really want to invite all of you at any opportunity to go to a meet, to see them either train or run if you haven't, but to take a moment to recognize all of our teams in this district are outstanding, but maybe take a moment to really recognize the boys cross country team and how they overcame this hiccup. And that's pretty much all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other comments at this time? Okay, we'll close that portion of the meeting. Superintendent, closing comments?
Thank you very much. I would actually like to address the boys cross country issue. It is with regret that there was a, as you called it, a hiccup. That certainly was unfortunate. It could and should have been handled differently, and I apologize for that to the boys and their families. I am happy to share that, just as you indicated, that there has been a solution, and we have had 2 staff members who previously were assistant coaches for cross country, Ian Diamond and Jason Flack, step up and share the role of being both the head coach as well as assistant coach for boys cross country. I want to thank them for stepping up into that role. And I look forward to the season for boys cross country, and I'll be sure to cheer them on, as all of us will. To shift gears a little bit, I just want to remind members of the public and the board that we have 3 open forums for members of the community to come and meet with me to talk about the concept that we have discussed at previous board meetings. We made a commitment to not discussing it in the middle, in the dead of summer, but there are 3 opportunities, and there will be more opportunities as the school year begins to come and meet with me to talk about what this concept begins to look like as we figure out the details of this concept of restructuring our elementary schools. And there will be a reminder going out to the public shortly that on August 10th in the evening, August 14th in the evening, and I believe in the middle of the day, sometime during the day on the 15th, will be a virtual forum. So folks can tune in and have some dialogue with me to share what their thoughts, feelings, questions are. I'll have some concepts that I may be able to share, not too many details because the board hasn't discussed any details with me. And certainly at our second board meeting in August, I will be sharing more details about what this concept for restructuring our elementary schools will look like. So those who are interested in providing some feedback or listening, I urge you to come to one of those meetings. And again, if you are out of town or not able to tune in, and attend virtually on the 15th, there will be a couple of more meetings certainly in the beginning of the fall. Thank you. This concludes my second group of superintendent comments.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Okay. So thank you all very much. I know this is a pretty quiet meeting, very low key. But again, it was I mean, for a summer meeting, for an August meeting, very informative, very positive. Again, thank you to the Suffern Alumni Association. So excellent to hear about the grant. Excellent to hear about what's going on at BOCES. And we will have our next meeting. It'll be Tuesday, August 22nd. And as Dr. Gunderson said at that time, we should be in a position to have a more robust conversation about any potential school restructuring and those concepts.